Well, welcome, my friends. As you can see, I have two guests today. I have Barb Farrow. She is the Director of Development for Youth Emergency Services. And I have Sandy Spady, entrepreneur, founder of Women with Voices. We're here to talk about Dance for a Chance. So ladies, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll know a little bit later why Sandy's holding a disco ball. But I'm going to start with you first, Barb. Let's just talk about Youth Emergency Services, the organization, and who do you serve? What's the mission?
Sure. Youth Emergency Services has been around since 1974, and we have kind of evolved throughout that time based on the current needs. We serve youth who are experiencing homelessness or near homelessness, and we serve around over 500 every year. So we do that through a variety of programming. We have a street outreach center, a maternity group home, an emergency shelter, and transitional living programs. So every youth that comes to us is experiencing something a little bit unique, and we help them out the best that we can.
Yeah, I mean, and your organization does just such an amazing job in our community and has for so long. Did you recently moved? Did you recently move?
Our admin offices moved.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We just moved a little bit east of our old location.
Yeah. Well, Youth Emergency Services, this is kind of the big event that you have each year. You also have a golf tournament, but Dance for a Chance. First of all, this is so much fun. And you have some amazing dancers this year, but let's just talk about the specifics. When is it, where is it, and all that good stuff, and then we'll kind of dive into the specifics of it.
Okay. It's going to be held at the Omaha Design Center again this year, like it has been the previous few years, and it will be held on Thursday, October 13th starting at 6 p.m. And we're really, really hoping we can get a full 500 people there this year. Last year, we had to cancel in 2020. And then last year we held the event and it was successful, but not quite as well attended as in previous years. Sure. Because of still concern about COVID.
Yes.
So we're really, really hoping that we can get a full house this year.
Well, and I'm going to talk to Sandy for a moment. This year's theme, let me, I'm on your website over here. It's Disco Nights. I love disco music. So Sandy, again, Sandy Spady, entrepreneur, founder of Women with Voices. Sandy, let me ask you this. What are you doing? Are you dancing?
Yes, this is it. They had me at disco and then they had me at youth. I've always been very active with the community, with Women with Voices. I'm very passionate for others with a voice. And so this is what I'm saying. When I carry this literally everywhere, I'm like, I'm the voice for others that don't have one.
Yeah. So are you familiar with Yes? I mean, kind of give us the backstory of just like, I know you said, yep, I'm in, but give us just a little bit of a backstory on that.
Yes. I did a public engagement, speaking engagement. And that's when I met Barb and Michael. And afterwards, Michael met and he just told me all the in-depth of how they touch youth in Omaha. And I'm very active in sex trafficking committees. And this is it. Youth end up on the streets, end up sex trafficked. And that is like, nope, let's have a voice and let's make it change.
Yeah. So I know the dancers, they have fundraising goals. Would you mind telling us what yours is?
Okay, if you're going to do something, you have to do it right, correct? So I'm going.
I hear you.
For the win, obviously dancing and fundraising. We have some stiff competition out there, but this is it. Anything we bring in is something that wasn't there before, but I'm going to try. And I have my couple of community events coming up that I'd love to share.
And absolutely, please.
Awesome. My first one is September 24th at Blackstone at Bob and Willie's Bowling. Wonder Bowl, we're going to have a Saturday night from 7 to 11. 10% of the profits go Dancing for a Chance. And then we have another one out west at Retro Rewind. So fun if you have not been there. They're right next to Porky Butts Barbecue. So on September 29th, we will have from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. a free Porky Butts Barbecue mouth-watering pork sandwich coleslaw and, well, I guess they call it applesauce and beans for the first 50 people that show up. The ticket's $50 and they get a free drink with that. And then on September 27th, we have cheeseburgers, dine in and take out and delivery in all 3 locations. And then Blackstone meatball in both locations. 10%.
Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, and you got to get creative because I know, and again, you know, this is a fundraising event and the dancers, they're passionate about this. And they also, you know, have some guts that there's a training process that goes across, you know, that's involved in this. And you're paired up with a partner. So how's that going?
All right, I'm going for the full thing here. My dance partner, we're both amateurs, but I said, Caleb, he is just a young entrepreneur and he has such great spirit. And I asked him to be my partner. So we have 2 amateurs, so we're doing it. And this is it. You got to win the crowd, right?
Well, and the crowd is there, I know, and Barb can speak to this too. I mean, people that come to this, I mean, you know, there's a lot of corporate business, you know, the business community are these dancers, and they come out and cheer on, you know, the folks that are there part of their company, but really everyone. It is such, I mean, it's just really unlike any event if you haven't been to it. So let's talk a little bit about, Barb, I'm going to go back to you. What can people expect when they come to the event?
Well, starts at 6 and it's heavy hors d'oeuvres, and we'll have a silent auction again, and we have a roaming photo booth again. There's just a lot of fun. We have more dancers this year than we have, I don't know if ever, but at least in the last 4 or 5 years, we have 11 dancers this year, which is a lot. So there's going to be a lot of really cool routines. Yep. And really looking forward to that. And I want to mention, by nature, this event is kind of competitive, right? All the dancers are trying to compete for the best dance, and they're trying to compete as the largest fundraiser for Yes. But I just want to say that in Youth Emergency Services staff and youth's eyes, every single dancer is a winner to us, because all the proceeds go back to our mission and serving youth who are experiencing homelessness and near homelessness. So they're all winners. And I love the really ambitious goals. And of course, I hope everyone meets their goal, but they're all winners in our eyes.
Well, before I let you both go, I mean, Sandy, any last words you want to say before I let you go?
This is it. I don't have a corporate company because I'm going off on my own. So any companies out there that haven't adopted a dancer, I'm out there to be adopted. And if not, just remember that any dollar makes a difference. Anyone that sees this, $1, it makes a difference.
Yeah. So people can go to the website and make donations to their favorite dancer or several dancers. Correct, Barb?
Yes, yesomaha.org. You can vote for one dancer or all of the dancers. You can find out information about sponsorships. So we have Lindsay Corporation as our presenting sponsor again, and Medical Solutions is our champion sponsor. And you can see on our website the whole list of other sponsors this year. Yeah,
and I'm looking over this because I'm looking at your website. You've got a great list of dancers, which actually I will make sure that during our interview, we'll put up a slide that lists all the dancers that are a part of this. And again, this is October 13th. It's at the Omaha Design Center, which is a great venue, and tickets are on sale on the website. So Barb, I'll leave you. Any last words?
Oh, just we love this event. It's so much fun, and everybody who participates in it always says it was such a great time, and is raising money for such a great cause. And so come on out. We want everybody to come join us in the fun.
Absolutely. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Sandy, good luck to you. I will see you both on the 13th, and I hope to see everybody watching this there on the 13th as well, supporting this amazing organization and these dancers. So again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Andy.
You are welcome. Well, hello, my friends. I'm here with Justin Doherty. He is the Executive Director for Autism Action Partnership. There's a great event coming up here in October. Justin, thank you for joining me today.
Andy, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Well, another event, I think the last time I did talk to you was the Common Senses Festival, which was so darn exciting. That was happening not long ago. It was April.
Yeah, the month of April.
Yeah.
The entire month. Yeah.
Yeah. And now we have a vintage affair. This is an annual event for Autism Action Partnership. But before we dive into that event, well, actually, let's talk about the event first, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the needs of AAP. So the upcoming gala, a vintage affair, a night under the stars, October 1st. Again, annual event. What can we expect at this event? It's an awesome event.
Yes, this is our 14th year of the event, and so pretty traditional structure as far as we have a silent auction and hors d'oeuvres and wine tasting, and then a dinner and live auction and a program. And so those are the kind of the bones of it. And so every year we try to do a little something fun and special. And so we've added a photo booth the last couple of years, which gets better as the night progresses. And then every year we honor a Help is Hope Award winner for basically going above and beyond and doing amazing things on behalf of the autism community. And so this year, Kate White's, you mentioned the Common Senses Festival, and she was the inspiration and backbone for that entire festival. And so we'll be in many other things that she's done here locally and nationally to advance services and care and research around autism. And so she was this year's award winner.
And she's got a personal connection with autism.
Correct. Kate is her son Freddie. Her and Roger's son Freddie is on the autism spectrum and is their inspiration for the work that they do. And she speak openly and regularly about Freddie. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's October 1st, and where is it?
It's at the Embassy Suites La Vista.
Okay.
And we have a wine from Vino Mas, is a local winery, and so they bring in different wines, and there's a tasting and the silent auction. We're told we have one of the biggest and best silent auctions in town regularly every year, so we try to up our game with that as well. And luckily, through the donations and support from a bunch of wonderful local and national organizations, we're able to kind of keep the items fresh and plentiful for our guests. We also offer ability for folks who aren't attending or can't attend or are anywhere with internet access to be able to participate in the silent auction online as well, which is something we've added a couple of years back that's been successful as well. And if you win, we'll mail it to you.
Yeah, that's fun. And I mean, I always enjoy if for some reason I can't get to an event, but even because does it open up before the event? I mean, you can view stuff before the event, or
yes.
Is it okay?
No, we open the silent auction about a week before.
Okay.
We try to open up on that Friday before, so about eight or 9 days before the event, to give people a chance to see the items, maybe identify some things they want, and or for those who won't be attending, to start to get to everything set up to begin to make bids.
Yeah, I always enjoy looking at them before I actually get there. It's just kind of
right.
fun.
A lot of people are like, it looks so much different, or look bigger or smaller than I thought.
Yeah.
We do artwork or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, going back to the first question I almost asked, what are the biggest needs for the Nebraska's autism community and AAP?
There's so many needs. So nationally, even internationally, the understanding of autism, the rates of autism continue to skyrocket. Briefly, I'll just note that between the understanding and awareness to be able to identify what autism is, so from pediatricians and families, and the numbers are going up, as well as there's a pretty good belief that there's actually more autism. So people always ask, why is there so much more autism? I hear about it more. It's kind of those two
Yeah.
factors. And so the run of services are needed from early identification and intervention to school supports to everything outside of the school system and the medical system, which is really where our organization focuses our time. We do a lot of community awareness, education, and training. We're advancing our inclusion work. So the work that we do with organizations to make them more inclusive for families. Our workforce development program helps individuals with amazing skills and some limitations find permanent employment. And we just recently launched our a Prosper Academy program, which is an independent living program for individuals with autism to help them gain the skills to be able to live independently. So we have a wonderful community common census help advanced the community-wide understanding, appreciation, acceptance, all those wonderful words to say people with autism are understood and supported. And we're trying to kind of harness some of that energy in the work that we're doing. So for support, obviously funding to be able to assist with advancement of any of those partners on offering social engagement opportunities. So we have pretty much every arts and entertainment organization in town is a friend of ours, and we host events at their locations, whether they're specific to our group or we're buying a batch of tickets for our families to attend. Workforce partners, folks who are interested in either hiring and or assisting some of our clients in gaining job skills, interview skills, mock interviews, things like that, and as well as a litany of volunteer opportunities, kind of depending on the year, depending on the season, the different things that we have going around in our office or in the community that we could always look for families or individuals, professional groups, students who are looking for service hours, or even students who are maybe interested in the health services field that want to have some access to potential job opportunities in the future.
Yeah. Well, your organization does such important work, and I know it's I think like a lot of organizations, it's always ever changing. I mean, there's always you know, you've got the needs and but there's always more that can be done. And I know that's really having the community support. And like you said, the understanding too goes such a long way.
Yeah, well, a lot of what we, one of the main themes that we talk about is that these kids with autism become adults with autism, and God willing, they spend the majority of their life as adults, and the number of services and opportunities for whether it's a service or just enrichment life, just the stuff that any of us do on the weekends or in evenings that kind of make life livable and living and enjoyable. Those opportunities are limited when you have a sensory need or you have autism and navigating that. So there's kids with autism, yes, and there's more and more every day because of diagnosis. All those kids are becoming adults, and there's plenty of services needed throughout the entirety of life, but more and more as the numbers increase, the kind of full spectrum of life needs is becoming more and more prevalent, again, locally as well as nationally and internationally with the autism community.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways that you can support Autism Action Partnership is coming to a Vintage Affair on October 1st. I'm looking at your website, autismaction.org. There's so much information on the website about support, inclusion, prosperity, resources, and also event information. So that our time went by really quickly. So do you have like 15 seconds worth of final words?
I just thank everyone for their support currently or considering supporting. Reach out to us through the email, through the event, raise the paddle. Any way that you find a way to give your time, talent, and treasure is appreciated, and it's going to take our entire community to help us achieve our mission. Yeah.
Well, great final words, Justin, and it's so good to see you. Thanks again for joining me today.
Absolutely, Andy. Always a pleasure.
Hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Rod and Jan Dorr. They are the 2022 JDRF One Walk event chairs. Rod and Jan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
This walk is coming up on October 2nd, but my first question to you both is, tell me about your personal connection and why this is important. Why are you the event chairs?
Well, our youngest son, who will be 21 in just a few days, was 2.5 when he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I'm telling you, JDRF helped keep my sanity, first of all.
Yeah.
And he, just a little bit about how he was diagnosed. He was constantly asking for, refills on his sippy cup, and he wanted to be held a lot more than our two oldest sons. And when I'd pick him up, he just felt light, just not, just felt light. So I took him in, and they did his blood work, and the actual doctor called me back and told us to go right into the hospital, and we were admitted for 4 days, and he's doing quite well now. So
Yeah.
and that's a lot to do with thanking JDRF because of all their research. He has a pump, and he can see his number on his phone, and he also has an iWatch he can see his number on, because it's a habit that he had to get into.
Sure.
Driving, to look to see what his number was, that he was a good number before he got behind that steering wheel, because it's very important for that. It's just it's life-changing, and
Yeah.
I no more finger pokes for him. Again, thank you to JDRF. It's just amazing what the research has done over the years.
Yeah, because I'm sure 21 years ago, I mean, a lot has changed and expanded. And also, I mean, going back to, as you're holding your toddler,
Mhm.
as a mom, you just
Yeah.
kind of know that this is not right, especially having two older ones. But going back to how things have changed, and where he's at now and what's available to him. But again, as a family, that kind of shakes up your world.
Oh, definitely. I mean, constantly checking blood sugars, making sure you have the insulin with you. I mean, even if you want to go to dinner or the zoo, that you have that, and and back then we were told it needed to be chilled. So, it makes a big difference. He's a trooper, and any child that's diagnosed with this, they are so incredibly brave, and I'm just so incredibly proud of all of them, because it is a life changer for gym class, for snacks that used to be brought in for birthdays. I mean, it's just it's life changing.
Yeah. Yeah. And Rod, do you want to speak a little bit to the mission of JDRF and kind of your experience as well?
Oh, certainly. It's been a real honor to participate on the board for JDRF here locally, and to be asked, Jan and I, to be asked to chair the walk this year. We accept it as a real honor. JDRF is just a really phenomenal organization. I've been on other boards, and this board is true to its mission. They are the largest fundraiser and funder of type 1 diabetes research. The work that they have done over the last 25 years is just words really can't describe. The breakthrough therapies that their funding has developed, some of the things that are very, very near, just around the corner, in beta cell transplant plants, and it's those cells in our bodies that produce the insulin that we all need to survive. The work that they are doing with some of the therapeutics. Jan described the continuous glucose monitor and the pump that Brady is on, and how now those two communicate. All of that would not have occurred without JDRF's efforts.
Yeah.
And those efforts take money. And our primary mission, of course, is to fundraise so that work can continue. It truly is a phenomenal organization.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for coming and talking to me about this, because I know, I mean, I don't have a personal connection, but just, I mean, just hearing you, I just know that you need a support system like this. And and your family is impacted, and talking, going into a little bit about the walk. This is a great way for everybody to come together and raise funds, raise awareness, for JDRF. So let's talk just a little bit about the walk, and what can people do to get involved?
There's many ways that people can get involved. There's large numbers of families that have or know people that have been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes that support the walk. In other words, they actually get involved, and there's multiple ways to get involved. You could simply help fund a team,
Yeah,
or actually participate in the walk on October 2nd out at Mahoney Park. It's a great, fun group of people, and there's not a one that won't describe their experience with type 1, and it's a great group of people to really network with. Other ways, companies support JDRF through this walk experience. Local communities have gotten involved, and other organizations. It truly is really a team effort, if you will, in
Yeah.
helping to develop funds. It's a fun group.
And also I want to add that it's a great fundraiser, but it's also great support. I mean, kids will meet other kids out there that have the same thing they have. They're not alone out in the world, because there's all ages of them. And, I mean, a lot of times, the kids will ask the other kids, well, how old were you when you were diagnosed? And it's not just a fundraiser. It
Yeah.
feels more like a support group also out there. I
Indeed.
feel like it anyway.
Indeed.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been to this walk actually many times, and you're getting to know each other, and it's also just a celebration. In the past there's been, food trucks or balloons, and I mean there's a lot of things going on as well. In Mahoney State Park, my goodness, what a wonderful place to have a walk. It's beautiful, and it's spacious. And looks like it starts at 11:30 for I mean, it is festivities. There are things happening.
Absolutely. So gates open early, 11:30 is start. The walk will actually start at 1 o'clock, and early October, Mahoney State Park is beautiful. Leaves probably will be changing that
Yep.
time of year, so it's a very nice afternoon out in the park.
And
How long is the walk? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
Is it a mile? Is it a couple miles?
Well, there are different paths.
Right.
Okay.
Some shorter, some longer. I think the longest is 2 or perhaps 2.5 miles.
Okay.
And you don't even, I mean, if you don't feel like participating or getting to Mahoney State Park, I mean, you can still donate, or you can even
okay.
register your family at walk.jdrf.org/Omaha. I mean, even if you just want to donate to it,
Yep.
or if you want to register your whole family, or even just register, a couple members of your family.
Sure.
It's a great event.
Yeah. And also, I think you had mentioned too, if you're working by, the people you work with want to come out and walk. It's just a great walk and a perfect time of year. So we are almost out of time, but I just want to leave you with any final words that you'd like to add.
At the end of the day, it's all about community, and
Yeah.
the power of groups of people has always amazed me. And when that power is directed at solving something that is near and dear to many's hearts, we can do it. And I really do believe we are close to a cure, but it does take funds so that we can hire the scientists required to conquer this terrible disease.
Yeah. Any last words from you, Jan?
Just thank you. Thank you for allowing us to even get word out there in a different way. I mean, it just
Absolutely.
it's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we hope to see everybody watching this we hope to see you on October 2nd. It's going to be a great day for a great cause. So again, Jan, Rod, thank you so much for taking the time and joining me, and looking forward to seeing you on the 2nd. So
Thank you.
Thank you for talking with us.
you're welcome.